Thank you very much. When we had a chance to speak the other day, just to get ready for this interview, and we talked about the fact that democracies are being challenged these days by authoritarian powers, by forces within, by populism. In our country, we've gone through the most tumultuous time in my lifetime, especially on January 6th, a violent insurrection to prevent the alternates in power between a defeated candidate, Donald Trump, and a victorious candidate, Joe Biden. In your country, obviously, Congress has had a great run in government, including in the last decade, but now Congress is out. How does Congress recover its political strength? I mean, at some point, there'll be an alternates in power in India, too, the way it happens in all democracies. What kind of changes or strategic choices are you making to strengthen Congress for the political arena?
We're fighting two elections right now, right? I'll give you an example. And in Assam, the gentleman who's running our campaign over there has been sending me videos of BJP candidates running around with voting machines in their cars, right? And he's screaming at the top of his voice, saying that, look, I've got a real serious problem here. But there's nothing going on in the national media. There is a wholesale capture of the institutional framework of this country. Complete. There is absolute financial dominance that the BJP has. Right? There is absolute media dominance that the BJP has. It's not just the Congress. The BSP is not winning an election. The Samajwadi is not winning an election. The NCP is not winning an election. To fight elections, I need institutional structures. I need a judicial system that protects me. I need a media that is reasonably free. I need financial parity. I need a whole set of structures that actually allow me to operate as a political party. I don't have them. So what's the answer? The answer is that when you behave the way the BJP is behaving, a lot of people get discontented very fast. And that's what's happening. And so the answer then is to bring these people together. But to understand that we are no longer in the same paradigm we were before 2014. We're in a different paradigm. We are in a paradigm where the institutions that are supposed to protect us do not protect us anymore. The institutions that are supposed to support a fair political fight do not do so anymore. So you can say we are in a democracy, but I'll give you an example. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's app was on one of the biggest operators automatically downloaded. Now, can you imagine if in the United States, one candidate had his icon next to the iMessages icon on every single phone, and the other candidate didn't? What would you call that? That's what's happening here. Right? So there is a complete control of the system. But what's interesting to me is that the speed with which people are getting discontented is massive. It's happening very quickly. And so the opportunity for us is huge.
The Chinese have been extraordinarily aggressive towards India along your long border in the Himalayas. We saw that in 2017. We've seen it again multiple times in the last 12 months. Quite objectionable attempts by China, in my view, to intimidate India. How should India best respond to that, most effectively respond to a direct challenge like this from the Chinese government?
Well, first of all, the Chinese are currently occupying Indian territory as we speak. Their troops are in our territory, right? There's not a peep about it in our media. I mean, can you imagine what would happen in the United States if the Soviet Union had occupied parts of the United States? I mean, you would hear nothing but that all day long, but there's not a peep here. And the reason that China feels they can do this is because they see a weakened India. They see an India that is internally divided. They see an India that is not acting strategically. They see an India that is acting tactically and is not able to see the larger picture. I am absolutely convinced that a strong India, a united India, and an India with a clear strategy has no problem dealing with China. I think the Chinese can sense that there is weakness in the Indian leadership, and that is why they have moved.
One of the issues in our country as we confront our similar competitive relationship with China is how strongly should we speak out about human rights abuses? President Trump was literally silent on Hong Kong and on the terrible, terrible atrocities being acted against the Uyghur population in Xinjiang province. President Biden has spoken out quite strongly in opposition. Should India be matching the United States or with the United States in taking on the Chinese on human rights issues?
Yeah, you should have a view on human rights, but I think one needs to step back a little bit and ask, what is China doing and why are they succeeding and why are they occupying the space that they're occupying? And there we have to do some serious introspection.
Hello, pleasure to speak with you. You've spoken about a lot of topics with the current state of affairs with India, from international affairs to economics to voting rights. And I was curious, what would you prioritize in terms of policy proposals when you become prime minister?
I would move from just a growth-centric idea to a job-centric idea. I would say we need growth, but we're going to do everything to push production and job creation and value addition, right? Currently, if you look at our growth, the type of relationship there should be between our growth and job creation, between value addition, between production is not there. The Chinese lead value addition. Nick would disagree with me, but the Chinese lead value addition. I've never met a Chinese leader who says to me he's got a job creation problem. I've never met the guy. This is astounding to me because this is the only problem we deal with, right? So we have to get on that bandwagon. Also, we have to protect, in a country like India, the minimums. So you have to put floors under people. You cannot say to people in an urban environment that, listen, we're not going to give you hospitals. Your children can't have education. So a minimum floor, and then moving the country with one, forcefully saying, okay, this is a serious challenge now, like the United States is sort of moving towards. What I like about Mr. Biden's plan is that they clearly recognize the problem, that they've understood that now there's a problem, right? That penny hasn't dropped in India. India is still fooling around and dilly-dallying and messing about and, killing people and doing all sorts of stuff that is not central to this thing. So I would say, go to our people and say, okay, now next 15, 20 years, serious value addition, serious job creation. I'm not interested in 9% economic growth if I don't see job numbers right next to it. If you give me 9% economic growth and say, oh, we don't have jobs, well, sorry, I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. So that would be the thrust of it. but putting it into a mission mode, right? Like what John F. Kennedy did. We got to go to the moon. And then the whole nation is, we got to go to the moon. So that's where we got to go. And I think that there'll be different variations of it in the United States and in India. But both those pennies have to drop together.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.